Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're going to be taking a look at Mario Kart Live on the Nintendo Switch. This one, it's for sure a unique spin on augmented reality as it's bringing Mario into our homes. But can the gameplay live up to what we've come to expect from the Mario Kart name? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So first off, I just want to run you through what comes included in this $100 package. You know, it's a big old box. What are we seeing in here? I don't know if I was wrong expectations here, but I was kind of expecting to see a game in a case. That's very much not the case here. It is a digital download. I probably would have even preferred just a game case with a download code in it, but you're not getting anything of the like. This is purely for the kart, the racetrack pieces, and that really is about it outside of a charging cable. That said, I really do like the card. It's a really nice design. On the right hand side, you've got a handy little button there to power things up. There's a light at the back. This confirms connection, low battery, reversing, and then a handy slide up cover on the right hand side as well, where you can plug in the USB-C to charge things up. This does not come charged, and I gotta say, it may be the shortest USB-C cable I have ever seen. If you are going to buy this and you are going to charge it with the included cable, I hope you've got a lot of space next to that Switch, because it's not going to get much further than that. Outside of that then, it's basically 4 cardboard gates. These will build the track, which we'll go into more detail in just a few moments, and a couple of arrows. These will just build into the visuals, showing you the direction of traffic. With that though, let's jump into gameplay. So gameplay and the idea is simple. As you all know, build out a Mario track around your house. For this video, the footage, it took place in maybe a 16 by 16 foot room, and you do need to be roughly within 15 feet of your Switch to not start seeing a drop in quality or even disconnection. I also set this up in my living room, though I can't record there. It offered me a whole lot more flexibility. These 4 gates though that distinguish out your track, they're just that. They're markers for the game to recognize as you progress. It will be able to tell where you are basically. What you do between them though is completely up to you, and that is what I like. Even the setup though, it's simple and intuitive. In animation, they put some goo on your wheels, I guess is the best way to explain it. All you need to do is ensure you pass through all 4 gates in the correct order, and that really is it. So let's say you go through gate 1, take a U-turn to gate 2, then maybe an S-turn to gate 3, and so on. It's actually, I gotta say, impressive the way it remembers this before then projecting the track onto your screen in a neon glow. Gameplay really has those 4 modes. Free roam, which is just drive around your house, no actual racing as such. Will say though, my dog was not impressed with that mode every time Mario came towards him. Single race, choose a track, varying conditions like the environment, time trial, and then of course cups. Here you can face off against 9 different cups, each made up of 3 tracks each. This mode initially, it's going to force you into 50cc or 100cc categories, but a few wins later and you're going to be able to start to see the ability to use 150 and even 200cc. On speed actually, gotta say it's amazing how slow the kart is going in front of you, but the camera makes things feel a whole lot faster and manic. What I didn't expect here though was the flexibility of the kart itself and everything they're kind of bringing along from a core Mario Kart experience. You know, think pickups, that's probably the main thing, and then the elements. One track has wind, you're going to need to steer into it so it doesn't blow you away. Another, it reverses the controls on you. You can use a mushroom then, and the kart itself will actually speed up. You could get hit by a shallow, not only will you slow down, but you'll lose any ability to turn, often leading to me crashing into walls and all sorts of things. Then it even has some minor steering assists if you want them. Gotta say here, I've had a lot more fun than I expected. It even then throws in the Bowsers to race against. I thought it was just going to be you on the track, but it's not. It's 5 of you and you're trying to win these championships. So problems first, accommodate the space. This tiny room, you know, the 16 by 16 where the footage was filmed, was borderline too small. You really need a living room or just something with a bit more open space, like the ability to drive under the sofa or let's say the bed. Then the gates, I'm good with 4, but you cannot extend past that. So let's say you played with up to 4 other players, which means you all purchased carts, so you'd have 16 gates total. Can't do nothing with them, it's still a maximum of 4. Seems a bit of a waste, and also makes me question the price point slightly and how they're packaging this. Why is a household paying for 4 carts, let's say with 4 gates included with each? You know, they're nice, they're made out of cardboard still though, so they ain't exactly expensive, but no doubt we could see some sort of discount if they just sold the carts individually, or maybe a handy 2-pack, you know, a 1 Mario, 1 Luigi combo release. These are not really problems with the game, but things you may face too. Like I tried to make my track cool, like the ones you see in the commercials. So I got all these like boxes down off the shelf. I made like a really nice looking layout. Just made the room look like an absolute disaster and really didn't translate to adding anything on like the screen or the gameplay itself. It just kind of looks like, I don't know, junk surrounding the track. Likewise then, track layout is of course of your imagination, and I found myself quickly running out of like ideas. So hopefully you're a little bit more creative than me on that front. The living room, the larger space, I will say that was a lot easier to get creative, but not so much when I was confined to a very like small area. I basically ended up making lots of like squished up ovals. Finally then, the kart itself. I think it's great, looks the part, it's sturdy, and trust me, I've crashed it more than a few times. I especially though like the rubber wheels, they help with carpet, but I will say there it won't really work on long carpet, more like, you know, short carpet, rugs and so on. I even managed though to drive it up small steps and trim with no issues at all. Then the final point, I will say expect some maintenance. I vacuumed the room prior to playing this and the tyres still pulled up every bit of crap they went over, and by crap I mean dog hair in my case. So I had the joy of like after every hour or so of gameplay getting to it and trying to unwedge this. It's gonna need to be looked after is what I'm trying to say. Likewise then, the gates, they do need to be wedged down. One crash into these, they will move all over the shop, so you'll be resetting things quickly between races. So I would suggest grab some like books or something like it. Overall gameplay, I really did enjoy it. In this smaller room, I don't think I had quite as much fun with it, but once I had access to the bigger space, it definitely came to life. And what the karting game can actually do is pretty incredible at times, especially as your opponents are like overtaking you and it's responding to all the power-ups and hits you're taking. It is though, I will say, a shame about that price tag. It still feels a little bit steep to me. Graphically speaking, impressive. Mario looks great. He's going to look back at you, tap the screen, acknowledge you. He will move when you drive over bumps. He will even react to crashes. Then the opponents, they not only look super sharp like the rest of the package, but it's impressive seeing them, you know, throwing attacks your way, flying right past you, or occasionally just looking back as you eat their dust. It's a quick lesson too, I gotta say, when you try to collide with them, because I'm kind of used to doing that, and you have to remind yourself they're not really there. Initially, I will say as well, I put a few obstacles to avoid, like shortcuts and things. Quickly recognised I'm only impacting myself, the challenge on me, because they can't actually touch anything. Finally, environments, and yeah, I was impressed with the detail. It adds filters to match like a desert theme, a water stage and so on. And then these gates, they transform from these simple, you know, lines and cardboard into like power-up blocks, piranha plants that attack you, or pipes that spit out goodies. The only other thing with the graphics, the camera, and it's definitely not what they advertise on the eShop, that is for sure. I used natural light, I used household light, and then I used studio lights as well. There was no noticeable difference outside of, I'd say, like low light scenarios, even lower quality. It's not bad, it's just not crispy at all like they lead us to believe, and the images, I'd probably describe it as like dull and saturated, especially in comparison to the characters we see on screen, and that separation's a little bit disappointing because, you know, you can see here the pixelation, the issues in the background are very clear. Overall, like, I like what they did, but that camera itself is for sure probably the most disappointing part of the package. So audio then, and to keep this bit quick, we get kart sounds, our opponents, some solid music, and a horn that you can basically use. The horn is essentially to activate menus in game, so before every race you'll be making your way to gate 1, you'll park in a certain spot and you will honk that horn. That's about it for audio. It sounds like Mario Kart, and that is never a bad thing. So overall, Mario Kart Live is a whole lot more entertaining than I ever imagined. The kart's not only a nice piece to look at, but actually impressive with its, you know, reaction to what's happening in game, and within the first few minutes of picking this up, it's going to be difficult not to be impressed by its like functionality. That said though, it does still have limitations. The 15-foot range, it's actually not as big as it sounds. It's difficult also to really use to its full potential though in a small space, so you're kind of looking for that optimal size. Likewise, this restriction then seeps into what's included, the maximum of 4 gates. It just seems like such an unusual restriction, not only in gameplay, but from the angle of creativity. Then the camera quality, it's going to take some time to get used to. It's really nowhere near what they advertised. And then I just can't get over, personally, the $100 price tag. It's a lot of money for what is essentially a single RC car and some cardboard, no matter how advanced that RC car may be. I picked up one. I'm just thinking here though, imagine having like a family, let's say 2-3 kids, all clamoring to get their hands on this. This is a bill that's going to add up quickly, and I think they really need to now rethink how they sell them, and if they can do like multi-packs or just the carts only. Overall though, look, this is Nintendo doing something that no one else is doing, and it's just another great example of why they are so beloved, especially in the Switch generation, even if they are a little too obsessed with cardboard for my liking. No score today. This isn't a traditional game that works to those conventions, but I will say I do not regret the purchase. I'm just not sure now how long it's gonna, keep me coming back, or if I'll simply return to the joys of the masterful Mario Kart 8. So will you be picking this one up, or have you already? As always then, like, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. If you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.